Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Taylor Jones. And do you have any idea what time it is?
Cold man's winter.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Taylor Jones, and I welcome you back to my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits. And what you're about to witness is a brand new episode, long-awaited episode 14 of Cold Man's Winter Season 3. But March the 21st is today, so spring officially started. But I want to talk about one specific topic that comes in mind. Now, since spring just started, everybody wants to feel laid back, feel thankful for the weather is about to get warmer, but we still have to start off with a cool spring start, an early cool spring start. So, for this episode, I want to talk about relief. Now, when you think of relief, you're thinking about coming together, you and your friends and family too, trying to get the past out of your heads, especially through hardships like burying a loved one and dealing with losing a job, but you still have to find a way to avoid the stress that's been putting you down, putting you through a big depression, deep depression, and even money issues. Try to find a way to get rid of the pain. And how can you get rid of the pain? Well, you got to have relief. It takes more than aspirins and medicines, or actually more than just a specific tune that you like to listen to. For example, I listen to Come Unto Me by Take Six, and it's like the motion picture soundtrack of my life. So it makes perfect sense. And some of y'all, like for instance, the dude's favorite songs when they're stressed out is Keep Your Head Up by Tupac. And for the ladies, what song do I think of? For the ladies, what song will fit the category of feeling more relieved, more calm? Um, let's just say that they like that song that Her made. Shout out to Her. Shout out to Take Six. Shout out to Rest in Peace. Shout out to Tupac Shakur. One song that came in mind when it comes to Her, um, Damage. I mean, the way she sang the songs, like she's keeping it balanced. She's keeping it smooth. She didn't have to do too much run. She don't have to be too soulful. She's just trying to play cool, like smooth. Like take some time to unwind. I mean, everybody like to unwind, but being relieved, it can have a pro and a con. I mean, there's a problem with being too relieved. You're not taking care of business later on in life, and a lot of people get frustrated and they want you to get on top of your routine, get up off your tail, and like get off your tail, go out, have a good time, even learn how to communicate with others. And that's one thing that still haunts me. I'm not even trying, but I can fix that. But I'm not the only one that's struggling. I feel like I've been relieved so much due to being a millennial surrounded by media, TV, phone, to computers and whatnot. But it's not my fault. I'm just caught up. But then again, how can you be caught up being relieved when you have a lot of work to be done? See, that's the thing. That's the reason why I came up with this video. I feel like people want to get relieved. They're sick and tired of thinking about coronavirus. They're sick and tired of thinking about the war between Ukraine and Russia. But we still have to be supportive of Ukraine because they're the ones that's getting hurt. I mean, it's getting out of hand. Another way you can be relieved, the most important way to be relieved, is to put God in your life. Matthew 6:33 has been quoted so many times, but nobody cares about it. Trust in the Lord with all thine hearts, and lean not unto thine own understandings. In all thy way acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. That is Proverbs 3:5-6. But nobody cares about that. They don't give a dang about it. So much for not putting God in the picture, the brighter picture. That's why we are all colorblind or just blind, period. But even when our society, according to some folks, have been considered godless, we can't leave God out of our hearts. There is no way we need to tell each other, you need to leave God alone. No, he's watching our every movement. He wants us to be relieved, like get rid of our burdens. That's why Matthew 11:28-30 has been written. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. So my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I don't understand why we can't honor our mothers and fathers, which is the number one commandment in God's eyes. The 10 Commandments and the honor your mother and father, that's number one. Also, I don't understand why we have to deal with so many temptations. So many temptations, guilty pleasures. I mean, a long time ago I mentioned the 7 deadly sins. And for those that don't recall what the 7 deadly sins are, dig this. A, B, C, D, envy. F, G, gluttony and greed. That's 3, but I ain't finished. H, I, J, I don't know, jealousy is one of them. But if not, I have to keep going. H, I, J, K, L, lust. Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh. M, N, O, P, pride. All right. Envy, greed, and gluttony. Lust, pride. QRLMNOP, QRS, you're too slothful, you're too lazy. Even when it comes to God, you are slothful. You never give him enough time in your life. I mean, like I said earlier, when it comes to being relieved, like you're calm, you're just chilling, laid back, like, oh, you know there is always a con. But back to the 7 deadly sins, and I already mentioned 6. There's only one more. QRSTUVW, wrath, as a way of saying you're too furious, you're angry. And you even take your wrath so serious that you're going to start some revenge. You're going to avenge for somebody that you love, even though revenge is God's. Vengeance is God's. I mean, when was the last time we abstained from all appearances of evil? 1 Thessalonians 5:22. Or when was the last time we prayed without ceasing? 1 Thessalonians 5:17. 5 verses ago, from the last verse that I quoted. I mean, why not? Why not feel calm about life? I mean, we got to stop taking life for granted. We got to stop hurting ourselves. We got to stop letting the past and even other individuals to get out of get out of hand thinking they the boss and you so dumb and so slow and so weak in the knees. I mean, come on now. Whether at church, whether at home, whether at school, whether at work, whether at a special event where all of a sudden some moron will want to get you out of here, like kick you out. And even when people start to turn their backs on you by calling you names like Uncle Tom, first off, have you even heard yourselves? And I figured this out. I read it from a Facebook post. Uncle Tom is not 100%. I mean the slang term for sellout. Because if you think about it, Uncle Tom, if you look him up, the real life Uncle Tom, he was an African American slave, ex slave, who helped free the slaves. And it took more than Tubman. It took more than Truth. It took more than Douglass, Frederick Douglass. It took more than the Underground Railroad because Uncle Tom, he freed the slaves and put himself into freedom himself. So if there was if there was a sellout, a nickname for that, we call it Sambo. And unfortunately, nobody talks about Sambo much. I mean, there was one MC who actually was against the Sambo caricature, and his name was MF Doom. Back when he was Zev Love X from the early 90s rap group KMD, known for their 1991 album, no, 1991 hit single Peach Fuzz. By the hairs of my chinny chin chin counts many plus plenty. String by string, I think I count like 20. You know what I'm saying? Zev Love X, Onyx the Birthstone Kid, and DJ Sub Rock. They made two albums. Mr. Hood debut album in 91, but then like they had the first album, it was political. I mean, it was funky, but there were some like real life topics that want you to kick back, think for a minute. But then 1993 all heck broke loose. I mean, when it came to rap music for MF Doom, it was like he was relieved to keep going. But unfortunately, 93, Onyx the Birthstone left. Onyx the Birthstone Kid left Onyx. Oh, no, there's a rap group named Onyx. Just bear with me. Onyx the Birthstone Kid left KMD. DJ Sub Rock got hit, like ran over at a highway, New York highway. And whoever, no, I'm not gonna get too shady, because I don't know if the person that hit him is dead or not, because we never heard anything about the person responsible for Sub Rock's death. It was a major accident, but a big mistake, a big blow. And Zev Love X, aka MF Doom, he was all on his own. It's like Onyx left, Sub Rock died, and Zev Love X later turned Doom. He got dropped by Elektra Records. Why? Not to mention the fact that the album cover with the Sambo caricature, the Sambo, he was getting lynched. And hence the name of the sophomore album, Black B Words. And the title was like Hangman Form. And they have a Sambo getting lynched. Noose on him, and it really was controversial. Controversy always happens. We never get relief from it. Just like Travis Scott, all the fans and family of the deceased individuals from the Astroworld incident turned their backs on him. Heck, he probably dealt with lawsuits and or rejection from paying for the funerals, like paying out of his expense, trying to do the right thing, but they already know he fell off. I mean, for MF Doom to be dropped from Elektra and being homeless, there's no relief in that. But there's only one thing that kept him going: his love of hip hop. Or probably God. He put him in the right path. But I don't know. I can't worship celebrities. Just like doing what you love on YouTube. I love to rant about real life issues, talk about topics, how I see things from my point of view and compare it to everybody else. Even come up with stories. Even though I'm not good at speaking and keeping it in a timely manner, because I speak slow. Sometimes I speak slow, sometimes I rush quick. You know? And like with YouTube or any other social media platforms, Google. Well, I don't know if that's, I mean, not Google, but Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the whole 9 yards. Even when you get involved with the TikTok, you gotta know when to balance your time. You gotta have a limit. Like, you love to do what you do, but unfortunately, viewers like you are the main reason why some individuals are not feeling any relief, because there's not enough likes, there's not enough subscriptions, not enough followers, all because your videos are lame. I'm lame. I'm not gonna doubt myself. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, for me to have 25 subscribers, it takes time. But how much time does it take to get until I get a platform, like a platinum or a gold plaque from YouTube? How many views do I need? How many people do I have for my fan base? Some will have 1 subscriber. Others will have 15,000. But what gives? You do what you do to survive. Even though some social media platforms will not get you paid, you're just doing what you love. And that's why you should be relieved. Like, you're letting it all go. But unfortunately, you gotta think again. Because there's always a dark side. There's always a dark side to being relieved, even on social media. Because I remember last year, one of my episodes of Cold Man's Winter that I did from season 2, I really blew up. I made the biggest mistake of my life talking that beef stuff. Like I was about to start some beef with somebody that brought up the past over and over again, based on my decisions that I made, to the fact that I have been angry about it. I let it rip. Then one day later, I got to take the criticism. I was told that I took it by heart. I even had a phone discussion with somebody else based on the video that I made. So, the former video that I made was, and for those that don't recall, reflections of season 2 of Cold Man's Winter. But the first video that I did, I deleted it forever. Even though the person that I actually got mad at, put my frustration out, despite I did not call her name when yes, it was a she, but she came to me in person. I mean, she felt like I was hurting her, but I hurt myself. I hurt myself too. See, You gotta be aware of who you're dealing with. Because if you're gonna diss somebody, there's no relief in that. You have beef with somebody over your faults from the past, no relief. What will it take to get some relief? You got to know when to let go. Like, know when to learn your lessons. If it's wrong, then it's wrong. You got to know when to let somebody know, like, where you're going, what you're doing, where you're going, what's your speed, what's your pleasure, what's your needs, trees and branches, roots and seeds, forwards, backwards, many degrees, questions, answers. What's the sum? We have come. Funkin' Lesson by X Clan. And I had to say it like that. But it's a classic funky tune from a revolutionary rap group from the early to mid 90s. But after all we've been through, it's like a lot of things change. 2022 just began. January, back to school month after Christmas break was over. February, Black History Month. Also, you have to wear red because of the National Heart Disease Awareness. And now here we are in March. International Women's Month. And almost every episode I did when it comes to Cold Man's Winter, I got to shout out to a lady. And since it's National Women's Month, I'm still going to call out sweet ladies regardless. That's my nature. But if you want the true meaning of relief, you got to stick with what you do best. Be yourself. Put God first. And even work on your past transgressions, like bury it in the hatchet. Even when you got to talk to somebody about how angry you have been because of them, they got to understand, but they have to tell you their side of the story. So you got to pay attention. Know where your boundaries are. That way you can get more relief and realize that the past is dead. You got a future to think about. You got a life ahead of you, and you can't stall forever because people die. People will already get what they want, and they're the opposite gender, opposite race, whatever you can think of. John Doe got a girlfriend. Billy Bob does not. And they're friends. But bullies, they pick on you because you're single. I'd be darned to commit suicide over this. I'd rather find relief before I do something that I will later regret. And what about you? Would you find relief? I hope so. Because there's absolutely no time remaining. You only live once, only one day at a time. We're not promised to see tomorrow, but who knows exactly how far life can go. Remember, there's no such thing as happiness. There's no such thing as a good day without finding relief. More relief, better off you're going to see yourself. But you got to make sure your relief is limited because you got to work. You got to strive harder. You got to strive for greatness. Stay educated. Make this money. And also be honest with yourself and others. If you want to take a shower, go and do it. You know, you got pet peeves to murder. Get that out the way. Because some of your pet peeves probably will not lead you to get what you want, especially relationships. But then again, that is a whole nother level. But relief is important. So find some relief before it's everlastingly too late. And you will understand where I'm coming from. You'll be relieved all day, every day. And on that note, that wraps up my Cold Man's Winter episode 14, Relief. And for those that like what I'm saying, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please do. I want my YouTube channel to rise. But until then, it's up to you. It's all on you. Are you down with the TC Jones Edit YouTube channel? Or are you afraid that you don't know where to turn to? See, you gotta have relief. I'm asking to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And there'll be more in stores, guaranteed. And also, the link for the last episode will be in the description box down below. And this episode is also brought to you by this week's Sweet Lady of the Week, where a female individual gets respect, recognition. And for this Sweet Lady of the Week, I give it to Sister Betty Atkinson, a fellow sister in Christ. And to Betty, if you're watching this, I never forgot about you. You're a good example of what a sweet lady really is to me. And on that note, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, saying thank you for watching this brand new episode of Cold Man's Winter. And I'm signing out. Because we all need relief before it's everlastingly too late.